Good
So how much
evening,
hand
everyone.
did you use?
Sorry?
I said, never mind.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem and our little game of Fallout, the 2D20 system. It never fucking changes. As always, here are the players. Say hi if you want, players.
Hi, if you want players.
This little Dimension 20-bit we do every time. Never gets old. So...
Wait, is this a Dimension 20-bit?
Yeah,
No,
it's a thing I basically stole from Brennan Lee Mulligan because he's the guy I watched the most. So
I've not seen it.
It's very good. It's very funny. Probably my biggest influence because I can't really do actual plays that go on for longer than 2 hours, so I could never really watch Matthew Mercer stuff, even though he's very good, but my brain won't do like 5 hours, 100 episodes of 5 hours or whatever. Not a criticism, just my brain is weird. But yeah, let's go back in time a little bit. So we left our players in a makeshift apartment that is currently making up a hotel in the Monofonto Towers after a particularly stressful encounter with the leader of Monofonto Towers, Betsy, from Boston. And we're going to go back in time 2 years to Good Neighbor. Now, Good Neighbor is a bit lawless, but they're a bit idealistic. They value freedom above all else, and as such, the Third Rail, the jazz club in Good Neighbor, is packed with people enjoying all the chems they want, all the booze they want. In one corner, there is a birthday party celebrating a woman with dark hair in a lab coat. In another corner, there is a older woman with a beard and a yellow dress, just drinking on her own and smiling, looking across the room. In the corner, there is a woman in a red dress, a younger woman, singing a very slow jazz number. The lights are low. The security are in tuxedos. This is a classy joint. And at the bar, facing the robot bartender, is Carl. Carl, you said to me earlier that you were there because you just finished a contract and you're kind of shopping for a new one, maybe looking for rumors, just listening out in the bar. Is that right?
That's pretty much correct, yes. Hearing some news also.
Wonderful. So, you are at the bar and the Mr. Handy robot... Yep, there it is. And the Mr. Handy robot that is serving as the Third Rail's bartender, Whitechapel Charlie, approaches you and says, "Good day, sir. Would you like another carrot juice?"
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
That'll be 6 caps. And Whitechapel Charlie goes off to crunch a bunch of carrots into a juicer thing. Uses his buzzsaw on one of his arms to chop the carrot into chunks. And as he's doing that, the music stops. The song has ended. And the woman in the red dress sits next to you at the bar and says, "You're new." I know everyone in this joint.
I come through every once in a while. Don't think I've seen you before either.
Well, if that's the case, you ain't been to the Third Rail before. I sing here every night. What do you do?
Oh, hunting mostly. Clearing out wildlife. Stuff like that.
Give me a perception speech check. I'm not going to tell you the difficulty. So you don't...
Perception speech.
Yeah.
All right.
Essentially, you're not going to be able to spend action points during this flashback.
2 dice. Let's see how that went. I have one success.
This woman is interested in you. You're not sure in what way, but she's taken an interest in you.
All right.
She yells to Charlie, Whitechapel Charlie, "Hey, Charlie! Bourbon, neat. Or whatever this fella's having." "Right you are, ma'am. He's already ordered a carrot juice." She turns to you and just says, "No one drinks carrot juice in the third rail."
Well, I do.
"Yes, you do." "So, Magnolia." She offers her hand.
I take it and shake it. Carl.
So she offered it like this. And you just grabbed it and moved it around and did a shake like this.
Yep.
And she's just like, "Oh. So, if you're just passing through, I have a room upstairs."
Really?
"Yeah. And I have been known to take payment from men who I take upstairs, and women, and ghouls, and one super mutant. That's a story for another time. But
Sorry for 1 second out of character.
It's all good.
Yep.
But I'm not in here looking for a client. What do you say?"
Not quite my thing.
Okay. Yeah. The
I
way
am
you
looking
say
for
"not
a
quite my
partner."
thing," that you can tell with no role required that she is offended by that, and she says, "Are you calling me a thing?"
No, I meant paying for company.
I just
I
said
am
it's
looking
free.
for work, however.
I'm not doing this for a client. I'm doing this because I like you, and I wasn't going to charge you.
Oh.
It's now become incredibly awkward.
Yep.
She takes the drink that Whitechapel Charlie just put forward, downs it all, and just says, "Whatever, man," and walks off and goes back to the stage and signals to somewhere in the dark, nods her head, and the music jumps back up as she launches into another song. You sit at the bar very alone, drinking your carrot juice, until there is a commotion at the entrance. You can hear shouting from up the stairs that lead down into the third rail where you are sat.
Well, I look up the stairs to see what's going on.
Okay, you look up the stairs and you can see someone you vaguely know. Not really met, but you know him. John Hancock, the leader of Good Neighbor, screaming at John Hancock. I should explain what he looks like. He is a ghoulish man, a ghoul man, and he is wearing a blue coat that looks like it's from like the 17th century, and what to an untrained eye may be called a pirate hat, but it doesn't have like the skull and crossbones on it. It's got a symbol on it that, if you were aware of American history, is the symbol of the US Revolutionary Army. And he is screaming at a ghoul who is wearing a tuxedo, saying, "They took him! Do you know anyone who's in town?" And that's what you hear. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna pay close attention and see if they say anything more about who was taken before I approach them.
Okay. The conversation continues. I should have done the ghoul voice for John Hancock there. That was my mistake. So the ghoul in the tuxedo just says, "How'd you know they were taken?" And John Hancock says, "Because they didn't take them all. Jason came back. Jason was the only one who did come back. He said Rust Chain just took all of our shipment and half the fucking people. The guy, the ghoul in the tuxedo says, "They're just mules, we can get me on mules." And John Hancock punches him in the face. Don't fucking talk about good neighbor people like they're nothing. What the fuck do I even pay you for? And he walks away and starts walking down the stairs, heading towards you.
Oh, towards me.
Well, because you're at the bottom of the stairs at this point, so there's nowhere else he could walk.
So I'll approach him and say, "Excuse me, I hear you're missing some people."
Yeah, I did get a bit loud up there, didn't I? Hang on, I think you've done jobs for us before, haven't you?
I've done a few jobs around here, yes.
He looks around for a second and just says, "Let's go talk in my office. Away from here."
Sure.
So he takes you up the stairs and out onto the main street of Good Neighbor and leads you to what was the Boston State House, but is now essentially the town hall of Good Neighbor. He takes you inside. You see a pretty ornate, well, what used to be an ornate, decorated, massive hall. It is now, of course, slightly ruined. The floor is covered in people who appear to have had a very, very good night. You can see empty psychos and medexes lining the floor. This is what is classically known as a junkie pile, is what you walk through. And then you head up the stairs into John Hancock's office. And he shuts the door and just says, "You're discreet, right?"
I try to. Usually succeed.
Alright. We've been having problem with shipments. Especially our booze shipments. They've been raided. That's no new problem. That's always a risk. Especially with the kind of high quality stuff we try to get at the third rail. But recently they've started taking some of our people, some of our mules. I just got told by one of them. Rust Chain.
They're taking people.
Yeah.
Not just killing them,
Rust
but
Chain's
actually
getting
hauling
ballsy.
them off.
Yeah. I mean, do you know Rust Chain?
I heard a rumor here or there. Slaver gang or something,
Well, I'll
right?
just tell you straight up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was small fry, picking up the odd wasteland who was wandering alone. Now he's fucking with Good Neighbor's shipments and taking our fucking people.
Let me guess.
My lieutenants have
You
told
want
me
me
you do
to,
good work.
Yeah. Let me guess. You want me to find them and see if I can save your people, huh?
Yeah. I'll do you 500 caps for each Good Neighbor citizen that you return. And I'll do you an extra 1,000 if you kill Rust Chain.
Sounds like a good deal. I'll take that job.
Alright, only talk to me about this. I don't want people
Of
at Good
course.
Neighbor to panic or get weird. I want people here to continue having a good time, so you keep this to yourself.
Will do. Do you have any specific leads?
We get our shipments from the north. I'm start there. It probably won't take you too long to find some kind of trail. Rust Chain's typical fucking slaver scum. All spikes and explosions and basically really cliched shit.
All right. Sounds easy enough. I'll set out first thing tomorrow morning.
Alright, your name's Carl, right?
That's correct.
Alright, remember, Only talk to me.
Only to you. Got it.
All right. Now let's get back to the present. We last left our heroes in the apartment that they are all sharing in the Up One Hotel in Monofonto Towers, I should say, not Montefonto. You should be able to see that on Roll20, as should our audience, and the players are currently there. Outside of the outside, sort of guarding the apartment, is Frank Sullivan, main goon of Betsy and the Monofonto Towers in general, and one of his deputies. You have some privacy at this point, and you're there with Olivia Barstow. You're there with General Isaacs. You're there with why can't I always remember people's names? I know these names. Yeah, you're there with Sniff. You're there with your Miss Nanny, Augusta. You're there with Mikey J, Freddie. Tumu is currently located in Clickety Clacks, where you left him with Monty, as you usually do, Freddie. So, what would you like to do?
Is this before or after shopping? I know we did it off screen, but I just want to know for... Hello?
Oh, muted, Tim.
I'm
Oh, no,
not
you're not
muted.
muted. You cut away, didn't you? Yep, this is on me. I got to reconnect your audio. This is a thing that happens on the new setup when fixing the audio issues we're having. If folks leave the Video Ninja, I have to reset up the audio. Not ideal, but better than roboting. Okay, you should be good to go, Tim.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear him. I can hear him.
Why can't I hear him?
Can anybody hear me?
Right, you know what?
I'll be back.
Let's quickly cut to our technical problems thing, and we'll be right back, people.
America's great stars salute the world's great.
Get this out.
This is nothing.
I'll just do a reset of Video Ninja. Okay, Tim, can you talk?
Test 1, 2.
There you are.
Test
Okay.
one.
Just for thoroughness, Thea, can you talk?
1, 2. Testing. Microphone.
Vincent, can you talk?
Test.
And Kat, can you talk?
I can try.
All right, good.
I did not hear
I think
Thea.
our audio might still be
I
coming
just
out
see
on
her
the
lips
stream.
moving.
No, our
I
image
will
is coming out on
refresh.
stream.
That's fine.
I must have
That's
pressed
fine.
something on the
Checking.
keyboard.
Sorry.
Oh, well, nobody said anything remotely cancelable, so we got lucky there. Welcome back, people. We've had a little audio snafu that has now been fixed quite quickly, so let's go back to
No,
the game.
not quite. I cannot hear Augusta.
That's annoying.
Do you want to do a series of elaborate hand signals and then...
Can you hear her?
I can, yeah. Maybe restart your Video Ninja. If everyone restarts their Video
Yep.
Ninja, I'll be here, and it should just... I'll rehook everyone.
Okay.
All right, Vincent, can you give me some audio?
Sound. Test.
Oh, yeah, I need to hook you back up. All right, let's try that now.
Sound test.
America's great stars salute the world's great soldiers. Here comes Jubilee, first of a new series of programs to the armed forces of these United Nations.
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Things are moving. I hear somebody typing.
We are still broadcasting, and I guess we kind of have to while we figure this out. Sorry, everyone watching. Kat, can you talk?
Yeah, I can.
Wonderful. Thea, can you talk?
1, 2, testing.
Okay, Tim, can
3,
you talk?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Vincent, can you talk? Vincent?
Test?
There we go. Okay, can everyone hear each other?
I can this time, yes.
And everyone can, and I can hear everyone. So let's continue. So yes, you are in this flat in the Up One Hotel. What would you like to do?
My question previously, when we found out I didn't have audio, was: is this before or after our shopping spree?
This is before.
Our drink. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So.
Yes, off camera we did the shopping spree beforehand, viewers, so we wouldn't bore you with it. But basically, all the players have to visit gun runners at some point. But that's basically it. So.
Okay. I really don't like this plan that she wants us to go do this. Freddie,
You picked a heck of a time to start speaking up all of a sudden, Freddie. You nearly got us into serious trouble there.
What do you mean speaking up? I was just going to ask her what she was going to offer us, and all she offered us was threats. In fact, Jade, can you please look at my hand?
I think I might have to look at your head first.
At that point, Mikey J speaks up and just says, pardon me, Freddie, everyone, but what the fuck's going on?
A very sad, angry girl wants us to go investigate something. And she was not willing to negotiate or do any proper business discussion on it. Demands and threats is all she offered.
General Isaacs looks up and just says, well, look where we are. Why were you trying to make a deal with... Why are we trying to make a deal with Monderosa Jones?
He's not here. He's dead. Other than his corpse laying on the pool table upstairs. Am I correct? That was a dead person up there? I can't remember. It's been...
That was indeed his body on the pool table. In the tradition of Irish American police. Yeah, I did some research on Boston, and I watched The Wire again, which is it's just Baltimore, but there's a lot of overlap in their cultures. But yeah, just pointing out how much work I put into this. People, be grateful. So yeah, Olivia Barstow goes up to Jade and just says, "What did this person demand that we do?"
Do some scouting for the settlement.
The place everyone's going to war with.
Yeah, and we are apparently the only option they have in order to not get accused of spying, I guess.
Basically what it is, if we don't do the scouting and report back within the time they set, we'll get killed.
Oh, no, if we wouldn't get killed, they would track us down and attempt to kill us, just like every other person who has a bounty on us and is hunting us in the wasteland. Not a big deal.
Yeah, okay, that's fair, but that's the gist of it.
It's a
Olivia
pain
Boss.
because it slows us down. We just need to get the part, and then we can go away out the wasteland again and vanish off, and then we don't have to worry about people hunting us. But instead, we have to stay and do more nonsense.
No, we don't have to stay and do anything for her.
Mikey J speaks up.
That's-
Did you notice that like a couple of hundred people with weapons in the courtyard outside?
Sure did.
We saw them on our way in, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't think you're
I'm not
understanding my
saying we
point, Dr. Jade. It's hundreds of them that are heavily armed, and their leader just told us to do something. We need to leave. We need to leave and run away and go back to wherever you came from.
I would not want them to track me there, no.
That's you got half of the plan right.
I'm just going to assume that none of the guards are actually overhearing this conversation, right?
They're outside.
Well, I'm assuming we have Nanny playing loud music, singing at loud volume, lullabies.
Oh,
We
as
were
a game
told-
mechanic, I wasn't doing that. You have privacy in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the second you leave this room, essentially, you won't have privacy anymore. Or if you open the door.
So, yeah, we'll be leaving all right. Whether we come back here or not is another matter.
We can't leave Tumu, but I guess we can excuse taking Tumu with us.
Well, Tumu is going to be our cover to getting into the other location for them, as far as they know. In fact, we still might go there,
Yeah,
but
might be good to
No,
know
but
what's going on regardless.
But where is the factory again? And where? I'm trying to remember the locations. The possibility from here.
Okay, let's say you open up your
And
Pip
the other
Boy, and let me bring the map out.
Big black blob right now.
Oh, yeah. Huh, that's weird. Oh,
Yeah,
because
it's
I've got it
cool.
in art assets, not the other one. Okay. Oh, wait.
But Freddie's asking the locations, and somebody's
Yeah.
rolling out the map, and then we got to figure out which, if we want to, do we want to even help or bother with anything here? I mean, war is good for business as long as you survive.
If they
Realistically,
had
can we get
offered
out of them
something
knowing?
besides threats, I might be inclined to help them out. But as it is, they've just pressed us into service, which is not that far off from slavery,
Well,
except they're letting us leave the premises in order to go do the thing.
I've just changed the map over. You should be able to see that on Roll20 now.
no, you have to move us over, unless it froze.
I can
on-
see it on the stream though.
Yeah, that's showing on Roll20 on my end. You might need to refresh your browser.
No, you might need to move us to the right map.
Oh, is that a
I'm still
thing?
looking at it.
You try refresh. I'll try and figure out how to do that.
All right, it was refresh. It's going to be one
Refreshing
of
did
those
work.
So,
Yep.
yep, you are at Monofonto Towers down here. General Atomics is over here. Yeah, and Good Neighbor is to the north.
General Atomics was the plant we're looking for the board, correct?
Olivia Barstow
Yeah.
says, "Yep, that's where we should. That's where the part may be, or at the very least, maybe able to get information on where the materials for the part was sent, and maybe a line on where the part was developed. Maybe."
If we could find a blueprint, we might even be able to make the part somewhere else.
Olivia looks at you, Augusta, and with a smile, but then remembers everything and shuts the fuck up immediately.
Augusta, I was wondering something.
Yes.
If we take the offer from the gunners that the Institute will make this board for you guys. Can they put a tracking device on that board without us knowing?
Probably, and also if word gets back about what we did to Quincy, they might not want to make us the board. They might want to disrupt our progress with extreme prejudice.
Yeah, I figured both those were
So we're
possible.
counting on us getting to the Institute before they find out what happened in Quincy.
And that would be what location if we were to go there? Is that anywhere near here?
It is due east on the map from
Okay,
where
there it is.
we are just now.
I had to zoom out, that's all. Well, it looks like our closest thing is we should at least head over to the factory and then maybe look like we're going to Good Neighbor. But if we go to Good Neighbor...
What do you think happens if we go to Good Neighbor? I don't know this area.
Learn more about what's going on is mostly information. I mean, I have no intent to help Betsy unless I can figure out a way to make it to our advantage.
Good Neighbor is a good place. Not as lawless as Monofonto Towers here, and less strict than Diamond City.
No, I'm going to avoid Diamond City.
What if we put it to Betsy that we're going to go to Good Neighbor, but we're going to go via the General Atomics Factory? If they want our help, they have to get us through there first.
Well,
Actually,
she's already put off negotiations, so why would we bother even talking to her? Just go. If they follow us, we take care of the people following us.
It's also a good route to take because the main road north is not far from the factory. So we'll just head there to get a quicker route.
Also, given the frequency where we keep encountering weird animals and mutants and stuff, no offense, Jade, but the ones that are trying to kill us, it might not be terrible to have a group of people with guns watching our back.
Do you want to go ask her for help? I tried.
I'd go ask her for help if she promised to stay the heck here.
I'll go take care of our shopping if that's what needs to be done. Why you go talk to her?
That sounds like a reasonable plan. What do you think, Carl? You're very quiet.
We're going to have someone follow us regardless. Maybe...
They're going to follow us regardless to make sure we go and do what she wants. That's a given. Yeah. I'm going to...
Sorry.
Yes, Jade.
You have been here before, right? Trading and doing stuff. Are there good people here? Forget Betsy for a moment. How many good people do you think are in the settlement?
Define good. You think there's... But for the most part, there are people who don't deserve to die here. I do not think of destroying the tower if that's what you're asking. I just ain't going to do her will because why is good mead worth being destroyed? Her word against theirs, I'm sure.
Yeah, I am with Carl on this one. Her way of going about this was not the best. Consider, though, that she's scared for her people. We come in here, start a fucking fight, or...
We did not start a fight.
No, but what she sees is fire in her settlement. And come into
by people of her settlement, not our fault. She is jumping to conclusions and forcing us to do something because she's upset and her feelings are hurt. Her friend got shot, her lover. And now she wants to go to war. I can understand that way more than any of you probably can understand.
Again, I do not defend the way she handled it. I'm trying to say that she's trying to protect her people, and no matter what she might think or want, there are people here worth protecting too.
And the same with people in Goodmead. I don't want to get involved. That's my bottom line. Let them fight it out. Not my problem, more saying, but they're making it our problem, aren't they?
They
Otherwise,
really
we
are.
would have just walked through, gone our own way, and be out of here. But no, they're dragging us into their problems. I don't want to be dragged into their problems. I want to make a profit off their problems.
I don't want them still following us when we go back to Edinburgh.
That's a problem we'll deal with after we get out of this problem. We can't, I mean, if you want to negotiate and try something, you're the smart one here. See if you can talk to her.
It might be biased against me, but I'd be willing to give it a shot.
General Isaacs speaks up and says, I don't know Betsy, but I knew Monderosa Jones. He was a good man. He hated the Minutemen. He fucking hated the Minutemen. But he turned these towers from a bunch of warring, raided gangs into this. And it works. Well, it worked. If he was into Betsy, I don't see him being into a woman who is completely without reason. But I never met her. I rarely met Monderosa Jones. I could be totally wrong. I almost never hung out or did my work in the city. I was always out in the wasteland. But that's what I heard.
All right, I figured we should go about this. We do any trade we need to do to get supplies for this scouting trip. We get out of here, we go to the factory, and then we head north just as they want us to. I'll make sure we shake any followers in the process, and then we don't come back here unless we have real good reason to do so.
Exactly my plan. Otherwise, we might stop at Good Neighbor, pick up some more supplies of stuff we didn't find here, and at least put in the appearance that we're doing something there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have friends there also. Well, I should say friends, business associates.
If you get a moment, can you try and book me some time with a repair station so I can try and get my Pit Boy started?
I'm sure they'll let you use. I'm sure we can let you use the one of Gun Runners.
Yeah, that'd be good. If you can, I'll arrange to meet them later. But if you see them before I do.
Yeah, I'm headed over there as soon as we're done here, figuring out what we're doing tomorrow, so I know what to get and what not to get. What do we want to do with the power armor, if anything? I don't want to be leaving it here necessarily, but...
No, I'll keep wearing it for now, but I don't think I want to keep wearing it. It's going to take a hell of a lot of damage the way I'm such a bullet sponge these days.
Don't stand in front of the bullets. Of the
Yeah, I
people
try not to.
Well, we should probably sell it in Good Neighbor then.
Don't know if that's any better, but...
Well, they haven't threatened to kill us yet.
It's only a matter
Good
of time, right?
Okay.
Well,
So-
they say that they're all synths there, so... Jade, is there any way to tell?
Jade, here's some information about synths that you know of, that your character would know. A little intervention from the Vault-Tec exposition bot, shall we say? There are 3 different varieties of synth. All of you will have had different experiences with various levels. There's the first, there's Generation 1 synths, who look like shitty robots. They're essentially... There is no artificial intelligence. They are automatons. They have set instructions. They will carry them out. Second generation synths are more advanced. they do feature an artificial intelligence, but it is about the same level of intelligence as your average wastelander or your average person. And they are also very obviously robots. They do not look human. Third generation synths are made from synthetic meat, synthetic flesh, synthetic bone. They are very, very hard to tell. Almost impossible without advanced scientific gear, which is how they can sneak in. But one thing that is true of synths, Generation 3s, the Institute has never been known to make a synth that looks like a ghoul or a mutant. All of the third generation synths that have been discovered have looked human. And usually a lot prettier than most people in the wasteland. But not always.
Makes sense, kind of.
Jade explains that to us.
Yeah.
That ain't helpful.
I didn't want to take her agency away from Kat, but Kat may not have known these things. And
yeah. Because I actually think we talked about that last time, I think, and was told like the 3 generations. But yeah, so if Jade had known that, he would have said that too. Like, the only known races of Generation 3 is humans. And they are building them as the stereotypical good-looking.
But not always. Like, they have used. There has been reports in the Wasteland that synths have made Generation 3 synths that look like established people in settlements to try and infiltrate and take over. That's usually been their goal. What has changed recently is that you've heard several things throughout this campaign that they are getting more aggressive and hiring outside help and expanding far more than they have before.
Yeah, so the rule is still, however, never trust anyone, I guess. We saw that in Quincy too, didn't we? You're muted, Tim.
Yeah, I have somebody making a shitload of noise behind me.
So, yeah.
So where's everyone going?
First up,
Gunrunners and clickety clacks.
the medic check. Is that just a normal intelligence medicine?
You want to treat your arm.
My arm and Freddie's head.
So how this works is, when it comes to injuries, you can treat an injury anytime, which removes the negative effects. So if you were successful on your roll, you would effectively get the use of your arm back. But if you got hit on that arm again, the injury would go right back immediately. Yeah. You can attempt to address the injury and basically remove it before you go to bed. So you wouldn't be able to do that yet. So if you want to treat your arm now, let me have a look at my sheet and work that out, what you need to roll.
Question is, if we didn't do that last time.
Freddie's head injury is currently treated. Your arm is not.
I was just about to say should be too, but yeah, okay. Because I think I healed everyone.
You did?
And I did my own too, then. I must have.
Yeah, let's say you did.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Okay, your arm is treated. You can use it, but it's still quite sore. If it gets hit again,
okay,
you can't use it again until you treat it again.
Okay.
So, Freddie, you want to go
And-
to the Gunrunners and Clickety Clacks. Augusta, you want to go to Seventh Hell, where Betsy is. Carl, where are you going? Are you going to accompany anyone or go your own way?
I will accompany Freddie to see if there's any supplies I think that we need, and make sure his mouth stays out of trouble.
All right, and Jade, where would you like to go?
If it's possible, and if people are okay with it, Jade would like to go try and talk to Seb, but without the guard hearing, not because he wants to like make trouble. He just wants to talk to a mutant outside of the settlement, you know.
Okay, so you want to go to the Gunrunners as well, because that's presumably where Zeb is.
Yeah. So again, it's more character development than it's important.
We love it.
That's what I thought, but depends on what the rest of the gang thinks too. I'm not going to use time we could use for anything else if they don't want to listen to me blabber.
Well, Augusta is going up to talk.
I'm going to blabber at Betsy, although maybe not for long. But
Freddie did recommend that she does not go alone, so I'll leave that. Take her nanny with her, or what that might be. So
I'll take this nanny. That'll be fine. That'll be fun for everyone.
I can definitely go with Augusta first.
Okay, so we got this party neatly split in two. Mikey J approaches Freddie and says, "Do you want backup for the deal? Maybe I could learn some things. Maybe I could back you up."
Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just assumed you would follow closely, as a good apprentice does.
I can assume in future if you'd like. I'll follow you
Please
everywhere.
Do. Not everywhere.
He looks at the floor and for a second and just says, "I don't understand. I don't know when I'm supposed to follow you."
For the most part, yes, but I'll tell you when not to follow me. Typically, when I go to the bathroom, when I meet somebody, I want to discuss in private, I'll let you know, the basic things.
Okay, so when you want to go and wee or poo, I'll go away. Other times, I'll come with you. He takes out a notebook and writes all of this down.
He rolls his eyes and just goes to the elevator, looks over at the little follower guard. Gunrunners, please. As he uses him like an elevator lift guy from older days.
Okay, so before that, Vincent, you're taking Sniff, you're taking General Isaacs with you?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Jade,
Anything long.
you're taking Olivia with you?
Oh shit. Blah. If
She's been trying her own cams.
Carl was taking
Yeah, Carl's taking his people, so
yeah.
at this point Olivia would be left in this apartment, on her own.
Yeah.
She might do some experiments by herself.
I'll leave General Isaacs there to keep her company.
Okay. Then Jade will definitely feel best about leaving Olivia there too, but not alone. But yeah.
All right, General Isaacs sits down with Olivia at the table and just says, "Hey, do you know Caravan?" Olivia just says, "What?" And General Isaacs just puts a deck of cards on the table and says, "We got a lot of catching up to do." And so you all leave the room. Frank Sullivan, the lead goon, just says, "All right, where are you going?"
We can start at Gunrunners for me, so would you mind pressing the button?
I'm not your fucking elevator guy. You press the fucking button.
Well, what good is having somebody come along with you as he reaches over and pushes the button?
I don't think you understand, mate, what this is. This is, you've been given a responsibility by the boss. I'm here to make sure that you do not run away into the night before seeing it through. It's a very simple relationship. In fact, this could be a positive relationship if you let it be one. The other goon sniggers and stuff, and Frank just looks over and just says, What? What? I think this would work better if we got along, alright? You don't want to be here, I get that, but come on, I don't necessarily want to be here either. This is my job.
Well, if you don't want to be here in the towers, you should leave.
I don't
I
want to
think
leave.
Jade is going to like wriggle his hand like and looking at Freddie at the same time, just side-eyeing him.
Here's how it's going to go now, Freddie. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you. You're Augusta, right?
Freddie pushes the elevator button, or however they ding it, to let the upstairs know to pull.
Just so you know, Freddie, I'm going to talk to the mass murderer vault dweller because she seems more reasonable than you. Just let that sink in, Freddie. So now let's jump straight to the gun runners.
Augusta is a lovely person. She would have never mass murdered anybody.
That's not what everyone has ever said about her, Freddie. Just shut up. I'm not talking to you anymore, Freddie. All right, so we're all going to the gun runners. Or some of you want to go somewhere else? Because I could have my associate here send you off, go with you if you want to go somewhere else.
I'd like to talk to Betsy if she'll see me.
All right, Tarquin, follow Augusta. And
And
Tarquin
I
just
will
sniggers
go-
a little bit, and Frank just says, "Why you have to be so weird, man? Stop being so fucking weird."
And I will go with Augusta.
Okay, so let's start off with the gun runners. Then we'll go to Seventh Hell, and then we'll go from that. So, Freddie, Carl, along with Sniff and Mikey J, you get off the elevator with Frank, who is your minder, and you walk down the hallway and you see 4 laser turrets, very familiar to you, Freddie, along the hallway. You turn and you enter the main apartment of this floor, which is the gunrunner's shop. There's a room in the back which is like a workshop, and you see that the walls are covered in all the guns in the world. All the boxes of bullets are everywhere. There are 4 gunrunner guards at the side, all of them packing heavily modified laser rifles. It's very clear that if you pulled any shit in this room, you would almost certainly die. Like, it would be a 1-round combat in mechanic terms, and you may survive to the second turn, but you're probably not gonna. And you see in front of you, behind the counter, Zeb has his back to you as he's working on something, and he just turns around and says, "Goons, out." Frank just says, "Zeb, it's me, Frank. You know me." Zeb just says, "Yeah, and I know that we had an agreement. This isn't Monofonto turf. This is Gunrunner turf. We pay a premium to Betsy for this to be an independent floor space. You and your goons, when you're on the clock, aren't allowed in here. We deal with our customers. You don't." Frank just says, "Look, I've been given the job. I got to watch them. They've been given a responsibility by Betsy, and I have to make sure that they don't bail." Zeb just looks around and says, "Where the fuck are they going to go? Just get out. Stand outside. If they fuck up, that's our business. That's what we pay for. Unless you want us to go and renegotiate with Betsy during wartime." Frank looks down and just says, "All right. You going to 7th Hell later?" Zeb just says, "Yeah, I'll have a nightcap. I'll see you there, all right? Now get the fuck out." Frank leaves, and it is...
Somebody who knows proper business etiquette and rules. It's so nice to work with you again, Zeb. How are you today?
What the fuck, Freddie? You're with the murderer from Vault 75? You killed the railroad? What the fuck, man?
I killed who?
The railroad. Those fucking do-gooders that were getting, like, that were taking runaway synths off to the north. You...
Oh, yeah, we didn't really... Augusta did not mass murder anybody. That's just a rumor. I mean, as far as I know.
You've always been really, like, mysterious about where you are trading for and what you're doing. Look,
yes.
All right, I mean, I'm not going to judge, all right? Gun runner policy. We deal with anyone. But, come on,
Not
man.
always the smartest, but there are things...
From
you
behind...
have nothing to worry about?
From behind Zeb, you hear a voice pipe up and say, "Well, you tried to turn everyone in the world into a fucking mutant, Zeb." Zeb turns around and says, "Like 150 years ago, man. Come on." Then he just looks and just says, "Freddie,
Yeah, so
you remember that
you have a
twig
passed on thing? Yeah,
that I found in the Capital Wasteland? That root that looked weird?"
yeah.
He turns round, picks something up, and plops it on the counter. And you see in front of you a plant pot with what looks like a ghoul's head sticking out of it.
What the fuck is that, Zeb?
Name's Harold. What the fuck to you, sir?
Well, what the fuck do you, sir? What the fuck are you? A head? Just the head?
Well, I was a tree. Before that, I was a caravaner. Before that, I was a human. And before that,
How the hell
I
did
was a
you get to
baby.
be
Harold coughs, which is weird because it doesn't look like he has any lungs, but he coughs anyway.
He looks up at interesting pet you have?
I don't think he's a pet. I mean, I do, like, I don't need to water him or feed him. He just happened. I thought I was going to get some kind of new vegetable, said Zeb.
Is it? Well, at least you have somebody to talk to.
I didn't really have that problem before, Freddie.
Is it growing? Has it gotten? Is it like? And he's looking to see if there's a body.
I'm a he. I'm not an it. God, you're just like those fucking freaks who worshipped me when I was a tree.
I'm here for business, Zeb. Sorry, I not too much going on to figure this out, but it is interesting. He
All
is
right,
interesting.
Freddie, what can I do you for?
Well, here's some stuff we need. I look around, and since we did all the shopping and bartering earlier.
Yeah, let's jump to the 7th hell at that point, whilst Freddie and Carl, Zeb and Harold do some business. Augusta and Jade, you arrive on the top floor. Tarquin occasionally just sniggers to himself, never looks you in the eye. Jade, at any point, if you want to try and diagnose what the hell's going on with Tarquin, it's a medicine intelligence check, difficulty 2. No, difficulty 1. No, he's a difficulty 1. He's not a hard case to diagnose. But you can do that anytime you like. You can do it now, you can do it later, whatever the case. It's got no consequence whatsoever. It's just for fun.
Because just for the fun of it.
I'm going to be playing it super casual, kind of looking at my nails, picking off a bit of imagery. Like, do you think I'm a mass murderer, Tarquin?
He looks at you for a second and just goes. You got 2 successes, so you can bank one as an action point. So that would be going back up to 3 action points for the team. And this man has no diagnosable mental health disorders of any kind. It just appears that he's a fucking weirdo. That's your official medical opinion.
Well, who wouldn't be in this fucking wasteland?
He tries to grab Augusta by the hand and lead you down the hall towards the 7th hell, and he knocks on the door.
Jade is going to slap his hand away.
Careful, you've only got one good arm.
You slap his hand away and he just giggles more. So he knocks on the door, and I need you both to give me a speech luck roll. And I'm going to say that's got a difficulty of 1.
Two for me, 1 for Augusta.
Alright, you banged yourself another action point. That's up to 4. And you both hear from inside crying. Jade, because your role was better, I'm going to say that you can identify the crying as coming from a woman. And very quickly the crying stops. And after about 5 seconds, you just hear, "Come in." And Tarquin leads you in. He stands by the door, and you are facing the bar. Betsy is standing behind the bar. There are a couple more goons on either side of the room. And she just says, "What you want?"
We're not here to make trouble. We just want to talk for a second. Without Freddie here.
Smart. Say what you're going to say.
It has been said. We are going to try and do the work you wanted. We're going to go to Good Neighbor, but we want to go via somewhere else first. And I want you to check with you to be totally upfront and say that to you so that when we do that, it's not a surprise. It's not something you're not expecting.
Well, where are you going?
We got to check in the factory to the east, which I've temporarily forgotten the name of.
General Atomics.
That's the one, thank you.
Why are you going there?
We need a part for some technology. Everyone's got like 5 things going on. Come on, you've been out there.
Yeah, I've been out there. But you know what? I think that's fair. You didn't need to come to me. You came to me. You accepted the terms of the arrangement. Be a real prick. I'd be a real prick to not let you do that. I mean, I wouldn't have known necessarily. We were going to
Yeah,
put a
but your
tracker on
people
you.
are following us, right? So that word would have got back to you. Wouldn't have looked good.
My people ain't following you. They ain't leaving Monofonto.
Okay.
I can't
Sure.
spare them. And anyway, they could get killed by good neighbor fuckheads anywhere. That's the whole
Yeah,
point.
imagine-
That's the whole plan. Like they won't kill you, or they might if they know anything about you.
Yeah, about that. Where's this whole thing of me being a mass murderer come from?
Well, it's just known. Mayor McDonough put a contract on you.
Yeah, that guy. Have you heard anything else about him apart from this contract?
I don't really. I appreciate you coming to see me under the circumstances. Showing a lot more character than I thought you would, considering. But I can't. I got a fucking tower to run. I got 2 other towers to run, and we're going to war.
Then just this. You can't believe everything you hear. That's a rumor.
Oh, Mayor McDonough
We all
is a
have people
fucker.
we're trying to protect, right?
All right. No, I appreciate you coming to see me. Thank you for being honest.
Thank you. I hope if our paths cross again, you remember this and not whatever bullshit someone's talking about us.
When our paths cross again, when you come back, maybe we can talk more. Now get the fuck out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm assuming, at the very least, Jade, you wanted to go to the Gunrunners, right?
Yeah.
Augusta, are you going to the Gunrunners as well?
I do need to swing by the Gunrunners because of my broken pit boy.
Okay. You are escorted by Tarquin, head down to Gunrunners in the lift. You leave. Frank grabs Tarquin by the arm and just shakes his head, looks at you two and just says, you come back out of this room. If you don't, you know what happens. And I don't want it to happen. You gotta know that. And also, I'm sorry if Tarquin's weird. Something happened to him in the womb. And that's just how he is. But he's good people. Tarquin sniggers some more. So you
didn't like us to choose our hand, I guess.
So as you walk in, you see Freddie negotiating with Zeb, and what looks like at first glance a ghoul's head sticking out of a plant pot. But Jade, you can make a science medicine check, DC 2, and only you.
That's 2 skills.
Oh yeah, intelligence medicine. Sorry, that's what I meant.
One success.
And a text message by the end of that.
Yeah. But okay, so that's didn't reach the level required, but I can give you half the information for that.
No, wait. Because
you can re-roll
you should be able to
because
re-roll.
of your lab coat, right?
Yeah, that was since people have figured out who he is anyway. He will have taken his coat back on instead of carrying it. So I can re-roll one of them, right?
Yeah, so 12 or under.
Let's see. That one. Nope. That did not make it better.
Okay, so you know for sure that this head is not a ghoul's head. You don't know what it is, but it's not a ghoul's head. Not like any ghoul you've ever seen or ever studied in your life. And so yeah, Zeb and Freddie have just finished the negotiation, and Zeb's just saying, well, you know, as dishonest as you may have been about where you're from and who you associate with, I know that this deal will mean that you'll probably survive whatever the fuck Betsy's doing, and you'll bring more business to the future. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, I have no problem with you, Zeb, and dishonest. I kind of heard a little bit. We keep our place safe so we don't have problems. Nothing discourteous about it.
Well, I could appreciate that, I guess. Still, 7th L tonight after closing. Have a couple.
We'll be leaving early in the morning, so I think I'm going to try to get a good night's sleep.
Oh yeah, your responsibility from Betsy. What's she having you do?
Yeah, we're supposed to go up to Good Neighbor and do some chatting with them, find out how much and who and what they have. But her negotiation skills, all she did was threaten us. So you might have to talk to her about working on those skills.
Hey, don't fuck with Betsy. She's good people.
Didn't say she wasn't a good person. I said she's lousy at negotiation.
She's been through a lot lately.
Haven't we all every day? It's the fucking wasteland.
Thought you'd understand if anyone, Freddie. Now.
Oh, I understand why she's upset. Trust me, I really do. But she's being very irrational. And you guys have to watch that. I hope you're taking care of the military needs here.
Hey, we sell to who comes in. If we did a moral purity test on every fucker that comes in here looking for a gun, we gun runners would never have made it as far as we have. Now we've got some new customers, including Dr. Jade. I've heard about you. You're the one who killed
Not
Dr.
too much
Life.
bad, I hope.
You killed Dr. Life and her followers. A lot of people fucking hate you. There was talk she was going to cure death. Why on earth would you kill her?
Well, first of all, you really should know that, I don't know, I don't want to live forever. I appreciate having more time, but seriously, forever? With that said, I didn't want to be killed by her just for the simple fact that I'm a mutant, and I would not want every other mutant and ghoul to be killed just for the sake of humans to be able to live forever.
What, she was going to kill all the mutants and ghouls?
Her way to make people live forever, that it was a virus, right? Like the FEV kind of overseer.
Okay, I need you to make a speech charisma check.
Yeah, but I'm asking.
Oh yeah.
What we learned was that it was a virus like the FEV that would go in and alter something, right?
Yeah.
That would make people. So he will say like it. What she made was a virus that would make humans live forever, but mutants and ghouls would die from it.
Okay, yeah. Gonna need that charisma speech check.
Yep.
Difficulty 1. Oh,
2
damn.
successes. So that's another action point, right?
Yeah. Banking those up. So, Zeb looks down for a second and says, you know, I can fucking believe that. He calls himself Dr. Life. Arrogant piece of shit. Probably one of those fucking human supremacists. And you hear behind you from the plant pot just like, well, it's no different from your former boss. And Zeb says, would you cut that out, Harold, alright? It was like 150 fucking years ago. And I'd just been born, alright? Your dad told you about this beautiful world where everyone was the same and full of quality, and you were part of the next evolution of the human race. Wouldn't you buy that? Hal just says, well, I didn't when he told me that before he became a fucking whatever the fuck he became. And Zeb just says, what do you mean? Hal just says, well, I knew him when he was called Dick. Zeb just says, you knew the master. Hal just says, yeah, but he was called Richard when I knew him. He was a good guy.
Oh.
I'm just willing to listen to Michelle do this all day with the plant.
Yeah.
Please don't. My throat's going to be dead.
And Jade is going to like follow it and take in the information that he is gathering from this, and then just go that, like, that's an interesting head you have there.
Well, thank you for at least acknowledging that I am someone with personhood. My name's Harold, and I was a tree. Now I'm a plant. Head.
Are you going to grow a body?
I don't know yet. You should have seen me about 2 weeks ago when I was just a little tiny baby mutant head.
Interesting. May I? And Jade will like indicate like, can I? May I examine you?
Would you? Who are you?
I'm sorry, Dr. Jade.
A mutant doctor from the Capital Wasteland, right? Capital Wasteland mutants are usually fucking savages. He coughs up some soil onto the counter.
Yeah, very few of them was infected as kids.
That makes sense. Oh, well, you should... You know what? Zeb. Yeah? I think I'm going to be examined by this doctor. You wouldn't mind if he took me off and did some poking around, would you? And Zeb just says, no, I don't mind, mate. If you want to do that, you do that. I guess, be nice to figure out what the fuck you are. I guess. I could always find other weird routes as a little, like, side project. And Harold just says, well, Doctor, I'm all yours, but you're going to have to do all the walking.
Oh my god. That's me laughing. This is hilarious.
So yeah, you can add Harold to your inventory. He weighs about 4 pounds. He doesn't have a value, doesn't have a rarity rating. He is just a head growing out of a potted plant. A plant pot. That's what he is.
Yeah.
If you threw him at someone, you would probably smash the plant pot, but you'd probably do like maybe 2 CD of damage. If you want to write that down, I'll tell you all this afterwards. But yeah, that's basically it. Like that's his stats. There's not a lot going on with Harold.
On another note, Seb, do you have time to talk a bit?
Like mutant talk?
Yeah.
I could dig that. Need some solidarity. Not many of us around. Especially ones that are, reasonably intelligent and not eating people and the like.
Yeah.
Harold just says, oh, come on, you clearly ate people in the Master's army. And Zeb says, no, I didn't. I always found it gross. Do you know what? Shut the fuck up, Harold. What would you like to know, Jade?
And if the others are done with their shopping and stuff.
Yeah, let's change focus.
Yeah.
Carl, is there anything you'd like to do in the Gunrunners place?
Not really. I just tagged along to make sure Freddie didn't get himself in trouble, and
you did a wonderful job there because Freddie is still alive.
Yeah,
despite all of the seeming attempts to not be. Augusta, is there anything you want to do?
I'm going to borrow some workbench space and try and fix my Pip Boy.
All right, Zeb just says, oh yeah, sure, workbench is in the back. I mean, I know that you're like apparently a mass murderer, but you seem pretty polite, honestly. And to be honest, it sounds like you haven't killed as many people as some of my other customers. You know, just don't take anything that's
smaller
not yours.
number. I would never.
All right, off you pop. So Augusta, you fix your Pip-Boy. It's a pretty simple fix. One of the little ribbon cable things on the inside. Not ribbon cable, because they don't exist on these because it's a Pip-Boy. One of the little...
Just needs resoldering.
One of the little light bulby things on the inside blew out. So you can
LEDs.
swap that round.
I guess. No, maybe they don't have LEDs. Ignore that.
I don't know. I haven't looked up how a Pip-Boy works, so I'm just making up as I go along. You fixed the
It's
fucking
okay.
Pip...
We can make it up.
You fixed the
little
Pip-Boy.
vacuum tubes.
Yeah. Replace the vacuum tube.
You replace the vacuum tube, the monitor comes back on. Turns out that it was always working all the time. It was just the monitor part that wasn't displaying the information. So, yeah.
I've had this before. Warning light was broken. It wasn't the device. It was just the warning light was broken.
So, I'm going to say that Carl, Mikey J, Sniff, Augusta, Little Miss Nanny, you'll head off to somewhere else. We'll figure out where you're going off after this little scene with Jade and Zed.
Jade will ask them to take Harold with them.
Yeah, I would be going to Clickety Clacks and taking the stuff here to load up Tumu. So,
all right,
or at least
jump
buy it.
to Clickety
Put Harold on Tumu.
This.
What was that? Yeah, getting the stuff on or off Tumu, but
Put Harold
Make
on
sure.
Tumu.
We'll figure that out in a bit. So Zeb says,
now it's going to be Tumu with a talking head. Okay, so
sorry, Dr. Jade. What can I do you for?
First of all, like, as you have just heard or realized, rumors aren't always what they sound to be. Be nice to Augusta. She is not what people tell you.
You know what? I can kind of believe that. I know I've known Freddie for a while. He's no fool. And hanging around with a mass murdering psychopath would be very bad for his trading company. That would be a really dumb business move, and that man's all business. So yeah, what you're saying does make some sense. Why does everyone seemingly hate you all?
Yeah. Do you know anything about what happened in some of the vaults?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
There was, I've had a few encounters with vault dwellers in the past. There's one vault dweller out east. All they wanted was to fix their water chip, legend has it. They ended up taking out the whole of Master's army. And then there was another vault dweller. Well, they say they were a vault dweller. May have been descended from the other one. They took out the fucking enclave. I've dealt with vault dwellers before. They always tend to be, they always tend to find themselves right in the middle of some serious shit.
Yeah. Serious shit is what most vault dwellers got, I guess. I'm one of them too, you know.
Yeah, you know, I've heard things. I've heard that mutants from a capital waste all came from a couple of vaults down there, or one vault, or whatever. Apparently, you were all failed experiments, which is why most of your kind, no offense meant, are eating people and shooting the place up and being a right fucking nuisance.
Yeah.
But you were bloody doctor. You're wearing a fucking lab coat. I've never seen a mutant in a lab coat before. You're something else.
Yeah. I was the first one in the vault getting infected, and since both my parents died shortly after, and the mutants made an uproar a year after the bombs fell, my best shot was to stay. Doing what my dad did. Continuing staying alive. Which meant that...
And you remember before. You remember when you were human.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking happen. I don't know what the fuck I was before I was a mutant. I sound like this. No one else sounds like this in the wasteland. I don't know what I was.
It might be a blessing, you know.
Well, maybe. Made some mistakes when I was a baby mutant. Joining up with Master's Army. I mean, I didn't really have much choice. I was born in the Master's Army. But after all that fell apart, and I made my way. Then eventually learned how to put together some weapons, and then now I'm sort of in charge of expanded gun runners out east. What about you?
Yeah, even though I was a part of creating more mutants to stay alive, to not get killed by the others in the vault, I tried to help too. Those who were young or... Yeah.
That's good.
I had to let some go through, but I tried to let others out, and well, one day they caught me after 200 years, so I guess it's not that bad, but I had to run. Haven't been down in the real world for more than a couple of years.
Huh.
I found some people that didn't try to kill me at the first sight of a mutant. Suppose you know how that feels, too.
Feels good. Feels good to meet some stupid people.
Yeah, and it feels really fucking bad to meet those who just want to kill you. Just because you're a mutant.
Yeah, I guess that does feel bad. I mean, when people shot at me, I kind of, was like, well, that's fair, because, I was capturing people and dipping them in FEV for a while, and, yeah, I couldn't really blame them, to be honest. But, you know what, I think you're right. It is nice when people don't try to kill you because of what you are. That's good.
So, I was lucky to find people that wanted to take advantage of my wish to do good with my doctoring instead of just...
Well, it's good you're out here doing the doctoring thing, and you're not trying to fucking cure everyone and everything, like these fucking pricks are. And he pulls out the same leaflet you found on the bodies of those super mutants you killed, just like, you say, state of this. Mutants, ghouls, we should be proud of what we are, should be happy with what we are, and these fucking pricks are offering apparently a cure, and you know what, it's not going to be a fucking cure, it's going to be a bunch of fucking skin grafts and fucking eloquence lessons and shit. It's going to be a load of nonsense.
Yeah. Do you want to live forever?
Well, want it, don't come into it. I don't know if we do. Been around for a long fucking time, but,
Yeah.
If we live forever, we're going to live forever. If we're not, we're not.
So... I don't know. I thought I wanted to cure mutants. Like, I remember what I was, and I have seen the pain people go through when they are when the FEV are injected. I
Master's
never
Army
really.
had that covered. It was so much better, right? We didn't inject people, right? We dipped them in this goo, right? And the transformation wasn't pretty. Like, there's not much you could do about that. But no needles. Much more humane. You hear Harold speak up and just say, humane? Zeb just says,
No,
yeah,
I
we fucking get it, Harold, alright? We fucking get it.
no. Harold was left to Freddie to take down to Tumu. I did not want
Okay,
a
fair enough.
blabbermouth
Harold's not there. Apologies.
listening in on this.
So, just, because time's getting away, is there anything specific you wanted to ask Zeb or talk about?
It's like because this is like again being confronted with this, you killed Dr. Life again, and the whole do mutants want to live forever, like, and what Jade have seen is this horrible pain in being transformed. So in his mind he have always wanted to cure this, and now he's in a situation where he's questioning if that really is the way to go.
Okay, do you communicate this to Zeb?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pickle, is what that is. Because, I mean, a lot of mutants don't remember anything and actually like being a mutant. When it comes to ghouls, that can go either way. Some miss being a smooth skin, some don't. And especially if somebody's facing going feral, then they suddenly would want a cure. But when it comes to mutants that remember what they were before and liked it, maybe they deserve the choice. Would you take your cure if you were successful?
At least at some point when I don't want this world anymore. I see old mutants around, and some of them seems like they are doing fine, but you get tired at some point. Humans do too. When they get old enough, you see them giving up, or at least accepting that life does have an end.
Well, mutants, or anything that lives forever, can always take a way out. There's always bullets. Bullets will get the job done. A lot cleaner than old age that some humans get to. You don't shit yourself as much. I mean, you do shit yourself when you shoot yourself in the head. Like, that is a thing that happens, but, it's only once, and you're not there for it, so it's somebody else's problem, innit?
Well, that's a take on it too, I guess.
Well, Jade, I really enjoyed talking to you. Yeah, I get to talk to another mutant.
Yeah.
If you survive whatever the fuck Betsy's got you doing, come back. We'll go get a beer. I know a beer doesn't really do much to us, but, it still tastes pretty alright.
Yeah. I might find something better if you want to.
So, now that we've got about 25 minutes left, let's do a bit of a speed run. So I think that's most of the business in Monofonto done. There's still clickety clacks. You got the option of checking out Nick Valentine's temporary office if you so choose. What do you want to do?
I would finish up the information with clickety clack, all the stuff we discussed off scene for the shopping, prepare that, and then head back for bed to get a good night's sleep. So, unless you have something you intend us to run across,
it's
I'll
up to
be
you.
there.
What do you do? So yeah, you go to
That's
clickety clacks, you get
Freddie.
Tumu, you bring her down to your apartment, you load her up. Augusta, is there anything you
if I
want
can
to...
bring her.
Oh, sorry.
If I can bring her down to the hotel and have her stay with us in the room, I would love to bring Tumu down there for that.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Were you
that's...
born in a stable?
It's not really a
but I
stable
wanna
at
mess
clickety
up the
clacks.
room.
It's a post that is just surrounded by Brahmin shit. that
They can
Monkey
use
and
for
Clicky Clacks is
fertilizer.
collecting to sell as fertilizer?
Yeah, his purpose for this is to mess up the hotel because of the way they treated. That's why he's bringing Tumu down to it, if he can.
All right.
Is,
So
is there any kind of pressing reason to see Nick Valentine?
I mean,
I'm trying to remember who he is.
None of you have known or met Nick Valentine. None of you know anything about him. Assuming he is a he. Well, Nick, yeah, he's probably a he. The only thing you've seen
Nicole?
is you basically, when you were taken to the hotel, you saw the sign. You saw like a fluorescent sign saying Nick Valentine Detective Agency outside. That's all you know. Whether you visit him or not, it's up to you. Augusta, but Tim, Freddie, you just said that Freddie's plan is basically sort out Tumu and go to bed, right?
Pretty much, because he figures we've had a pretty busy day. He's not going to go up to the seventh hell, Probably not a smart move on his part. He may be a little talkative, but he ain't real stupid. So that's his plan. Pack up or get ready for Tumu. Bring Tumu down to the hotel if he can, so they're ready to go in the morning. Otherwise, leave it at Clicky Clacks and head back himself.
All right.
Same goes for Carl.
All right. Carl is going to head down and go to bed. Augusta, what would you like to do?
I think I've done everything I needed to do before we finish up for the day.
Okay, so assuming you want to go to bed. Jade, you going to go to bed?
Shouldn't I look at Freddie's injury?
If you can heal any injuries, as opposed to right now, they're in this. I think I need several days of rest for it to recover. So
Exactly.
biggest thing. Then I'm about as good a state I'm going to be in. So.
And is Jade's arm supposed to be?
Let me just quickly do a glance of the long-term recovery. So. Okay, so how this works is that you are going to rest tonight, the both of you. And that means that you can do a endurance survival test. The difficulty varies based on the previous day's activity. So you have done traveling. You have traveled from the hotel, like the dilapidated, like travel lodge type thing you stayed in the night before, to the center of Boston. And you have been in 2 combats. So the difficulty level for successfully removing these injuries is a 4. However, you can add certain chems to that. You can do certain things, and I believe Jade probably has some perks that would probably assist there. So that could maybe bring the difficulty down. You have to have a look at your character sheets and work that out.
I have the doctor's bag, so I can take down the difficulty of medicine test by 1, minimum 0 when providing long-term care. Allows care of up to 2 additional patients. So if Jade still have like some long-term care to do on his arm, he can do both Freddie and himself.
Okay, because you are treating yourself, your difficulty goes back up to 4, but Freddie's goes down to 3.
Can we use Stimpaks also?
Stimpaks won't necessarily help here, but they would give you an extra 4 hit points recovery if you needed it.
I don't need hit points. I need to get rid of that injury permanently. So
and all my perks is when you use first aid action, and
this is a different action than first aid, I believe. Let me double check.
Yeah, right. First aid is to gain HP back or to stabilize an injury in combat, right?
Yes, that is the first aid action. That's a major action. That does not include long-term recovery.
Okay. So an intelligence medicine for the long-term care. And what do you say? Survival endurance on top of that.
It's survival endurance. You need a 4. Freddie would need to roll a 3. But if you are doing the assisting, I believe that brings it down even more. So Freddie, you just rolled a 2.
Intelligence medicine. Let's see.
Excuse us as we figure out this rule for the first time.
So the medicine intelligence gave 2 successes.
Okay, because you are assisting Freddie, you get to roll another dice. Oh, damn.
That would add an additional success, so that'd be 3 total.
Yeah, so Freddie, your head wound has been treated. Jade expertly stitches it up, puts a big old plaster on it, gives it a bit of a kiss, and just your head is going to be fine. Your injury is gone.
Excellent. Now I don't have to worry about now I can get shot there again. Excellent.
Jade, the only way you're going to get rid of your injury is if you were going to spend 3 action points to do some more rolls. So you're going to keep your injury for another day, or are you going to spend some action points to get rid of it once and for all?
Because if it wasn't, it should have been longer recovery, right? So I don't fix it, but I reduce the time still. Or?
No, this is I don't think it works that way.
Okay. Yeah, but since I got a one-handed weapon now, I can.
Yeah, and your arm is functional at this point.
Yeah.
It's just if it gets hit again, you can't.
Wait.
The arm goes dead.
I should still make a survival endurance myself, right?
I thought you did. Oh, you made a
nope,
medicine endurance.
I made the medicine intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make your survival endurance, and let's see if you can get. Well, you need 4, so you would need to go. You would need 2. You'd essentially need like 2 1s, unless they're tags.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's not impossible.
So that's 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, because the medicine intelligence should have lowered it, but then it's on myself, so it raises it. Yeah. So it should have been 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can spend 1 action point to get 1 additional roll, and you can spend 2 action points on top of that to get a second additional roll. So you could spend 3 action points and roll 2 more dice. Or you could try your luck just rolling 1 and seeing if you get a 1, or live with the injury for a day.
Yeah, I take the injury for a day more.
Okay.
No problem.
So you go to bed. But before you do, Carl, General Isaacs approaches you and says, we're going to go and see if we can get that part. But I think we need to talk about what is this new thing going to be that you were talking about that's going to be replacing the Minutemen?
Well, I figured since the Minutemen were a good idea, but poorly organized for what they were trying to do and without proper supply lines, we should set up a kind of Wasteland Ranger Group. Pretty much people like me going out doing good things for the people around the Commonwealth. Tracking down dangerous animals, taking them out, dealing with raiders in a similar manner. Supported and organized from Edinburgh. And possibly gathering, shall we say, a fee from various communities in exchange for services.
Minutemen never really charged. We sort of relied on the kindness of those we saved to give us resources. And there was a time when you could turn up at any place serving food in the Commonwealth in their Minuteman uniform. They would give you a meal.
Well, unfortunately, that's not the reality of the situation right now. There are no Minutemen, and even if they were, they would not have the sufficient goodwill to get those benefits. This needs to be different. It needs to be an actual, almost military organization that is mostly supplying itself, but gaining payment in caps or gear for services rendered. At least initially.
Alright. I've got an idea. What if we helped those that needed it but didn't have the caps? But we just charged a lot of caps to people who could afford it. Let's say
could work.
Let's say there's a settlement. It's doing alright. And we charge them 300, 500, whatever caps we would need. That would still mean that we get our equipment, we get our food, we get our places to sleep, and we're still helping people that need it but don't have the caps.
Yeah, that could work.
We won't make as much, but the spirit of the Minutemen will at least continue. Albeit in a different form.
That's true.
Oh god, does this mean I'm going to have to learn how to use a fucking bow and arrow?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Alright, well, once all this business is concluded with your missing bit of technology and whatever the fuck is going on in Boston right now, let's start doing some target practice, I guess. At that
You
point,
absolutely should.
Olivia Barstow walks in and just says, "Let's do another game. Let's do another game." General Isa just says, "Come on, it's no fun to play without caps, and you don't have any caps because you've only been out of your fucking vault for like 2 days." And Olivia just says, "You can play with caps? Like for money?" And I guess on that note, everyone goes to bed. You all rest. You get a full 8 hours. You go to bed just before midnight. You are all still asleep at around 8:20 in the morning when the door to the apartment opens and in walks Betsy, Frank Sullivan, and Tarquin. Betsy bangs the wall with her combat rifle and just says, "Rise and shine, people. Time for you all to do your responsibility."
Freddie, can you hear me? Just to make sure, because I dropped in the audio.
Tim, you're all muted.
No,
I
it's not.
dropped.
Oh, it's okay. Don't do anything. I got to refresh my browser. Be right back. I'm not leaving the stream. Just leaving the video ninja.
I was just thinking you're going to have
Alright.
something to say about this.
Oh,
All right, now
he's just
now I can hear you, Tim. What are you saying?
I was saying make sure they can hear me out in Streamland because I did drop
Carl's
a second
vanished in
ago.
Streamland.
Of course he has.
So,
Solve one problem. Discover
other
some
than
new
that,
ones. All right. So Tim,
Freddie will
you
walk.
are-
Is she in the hall, or did we have a suite, or did she walk in? I'm trying to get an idea of what I'm seeing in my head.
Tim, could you just say a thing? Tim, can you speak?
Hello.
Yep, you're coming
Hello.
through. You should be going out on onto Streamland now. Okay.
Carl is not
Alright.
visible on stream. Overseer.
Well, that's peculiar. Why is Carl shrank? That makes no sense. There we go.
OBS does that to me when I log back into Video Ninja.
That's weird. To answer your question, Tim, Freddie, you are in an apartment.
I mean,
And the apartment has 2 beds, 2 bedrooms, and a front room. And she walks into the front room, banging the walls. So some of your people are sleeping in the front room area and are woken up. I'm assuming that you're in bedrooms and you can hear this and are woken up by this outside the bedroom. So you just hear from the outside of, if you're in a bedroom, Betsy banging on the wall saying,
that's fine. Freddie walks, opens the door and stands there completely naked. Yeah, let us get dressed and ready.
Frank just says, "What the fuck, man? You serious?"
I don't sleep in my suit.
Betsy looks
And
you up
I
and down
washed
for a
my
bit.
underwear.
Betsy looks up and down a bit and
Right.
smiles a little bit, but then her serious face just comes back, and she's just like, "Put some fucking clothes on. You're leaving now. You've got work to do."
Well, thank you for the wake-up call. Give us a moment.
Okay, so everyone gathers up their stuff, and you are frog-marched out into the courtyard. And there are still, at this point, there is about 150 people variously sleeping, walking around, preparing weapons. There's a couple of people playing basketball in one corner. And Betsy just walks you out and just says, "Alright, take this." And hands you, Augusta, what used to be a pre-war walkie-talkie. I'm just going to share that with you now. And she says to you, "This is a tracker, right? This is going to let us know where you roughly are. If this goes dead, or shows that you leave Boston, we're going to come and get you. Understand?"
Understood. You'll know where the tracker is at all times.
Alright. I appreciate you coming to see me. I wouldn't have been bothered if you did take a little, do go on a little thing. As long as you get the job done, I don't mind how you do it or where you go.
I'm sure we all appreciated the wake-up call as well.
Alright. Well, out you go. And
Off, as you say, we go.
the gates open, revealing the Boston city streets, or as much as they are. And you all leave, and the gate shuts behind you. You are now standing in front of Monofonto Towers. You've already kind of discussed this. But, yeah, which way are you going?
We're gonna head east.
Yeah, to the factory.
Yep.
So you start making
Freddie
your way to
looks
the...
over-
Oh, sorry.
Freddie looks at the walkie-talkie that Augusta has. We can leave that here or somewhere nearby if you want.
We can give that to someone who's going where we want them to be going. It doesn't. It's tracking where the walkie-talkie is. It's not tracking where we are.
Well, for right now, it's handy, but as long as she told us, that's what's surprising.
It may not be the only one. Is there any like random shit we've just been given for no apparent reason?
Hello.
At this point, Harold just speaks up. "Well, I don't think there's anything on me."
Jay?
I've heard about people like you. You've got branches everywhere.
Freddie takes the pot off and hands it to Jade. I don't want Timu picking up some bad habits and listening to him.
Tim.
I mean, rude, But also, I'm just glad that I'm not being called an it.
Well, I guess I can have him in my broken arm then. I guess you would want me to be able to use my weapon if we were attacked, right?
Well, here, and
If we thought about it earlier, we could have made you some kind of backpack.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
not
just
fussy.
imagining I'm thinking Men in Black and the little head coming up out of his backpack.
I'm thinking safe for people, Brox.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, might be a project.
So, as we bring this to a close, you all set off on the road to the General Atomics factory, hoping to find the B742 U-board or the God board there. And we're going to pan out, get a bit cinematic on you. Going to pan out some more over the city into one of the taller buildings. You are dots in the distance, and watching you is someone wearing power armor that has been very, very heavily burned. And that's it for this session of Fallout. It never fucking changes. Thank you all for watching. Players, you have a good time. Was that cool? I thought it was fun, but it might not have been for you. I don't know.
I enjoyed it very much so. I'm just curious if they're after the nice shiny armor we have instead of their blackened.
It's not that shiny now, but it's kind of on me.
A black knight. Okay, I can see that.
It's black. It's sort of black, orangey. It's been severely burned. But this is something your characters haven't seen. But you have now. Yeah.
It's kind of carbonized.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I've been reading in this book of science that if stuff gets too hardened, it's brittle and easy to crack.
Is there a book on power armor?
No, it's
He's
just
got a big book of science.
Oh, you with your big book of science.
So many questions.
So many pronunciations.
Well,
he is a wastelander who is not well educated to begin with. So.
Well, if you have anything to plug, people, now's the time.
Tuesday game, I believe we have.
Slay Industries.
Yep.
And that's not happening this Tuesday now. I have a thing.
Okay. Right. Then not that.
Okay.
That will be
Next thing will be
a one shot. I
Saturday.
think Mark's gonna do Mothership or something.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah,
He's gonna
all
do
eyes on this
something,
channel anyway, because there will be something going on Tuesday.
And then on Saturday be Mask of Nyarlathotep. Returning.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah. What happened to
We're all worried about Bob.
poor Bob? Yeah. Poor Bob. Is he going to go find Lyra in the next life to yell at her?
I think none of us are entirely safe in that game.
Kat, are you going to plug some clickety clacks? Oh,
Q Workshop have their advertised calendar out.
let me
Go
make
buy
it-
that one. And NorseFoundry.com have some awesome precious and semi-precious stone dice and metal dice and pins and stuff like that. Go check that one out too.
Oh, and
So,
search
yeah,
for Tales of Myth and Mayhem on your podcatcher because we have a podcast and there will be soon more of them.
Oh, yeah, and we did Dragonbane yesterday. Other than our audio issues, I think it went well. We will be seeing that every 2 weeks before Vampire. So, and Vampire returns in 2 weeks, I believe? Or is that right? I'm trying to remember my dates.
A week on Saturday, which will be the 2nd of November for everyone except me, but that's academic.
Yeah, it's just like the gentleman who plays in my game is 14 hours ahead of us, so Sunday morning at his place. So, all right, I have nothing more to plug, so that's ready to get rid of us, Joe.
Do we have a raid?
I did
lined
not
up?
have a raid ready this time, so I've looked and I'm just like, I'm not sure.
So I never do because I'm still not entirely sure what a raid is or
Well,
how to do it. But you know,
we
thanks.
went to Free Earth a couple of weeks ago. They were awful cool. I thought they were doing a good game, but we kind of they're about 3 hours in, so it's probably an awkward time to suddenly turn up.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, we'll just bring it to a close. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.
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 See you in 2 weeks. A week.